Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. This is Louis Schroeder. Today I'm going to be talking about the Yashica GSN Electro 35. It's a camera that I picked up a little while ago at a thrift store, at a Goodwill to be more specific, and I think I paid 10 or 15 bucks for it. Great deal. Saw it on the shelf. It looked beautiful, just a beautiful camera, and I think that's important. Not only the quality of the camera is important, but I think the way it looks and feels is important. And this one just looked great. So picked it up, 10, 15 bucks, brought it home. Was very happy. But it didn't work. So I had to get it fixed. I had to send it out. And I did do that. I found a guy that worked at the Yashica factory. I can't remember his name right now, but I can find out if anybody needs to know. And I mailed it out to him. A couple weeks later, he mailed it back. It cost me about $135 to fix, not cheap, but the camera came back in perfect conditions. And you will see the photos that it helped me take in this video. So let's check it out. And let's start with the photo where the camera actually appears in it. If you look in the mirror there, you'll see me taking the photo. See the camera, part of the camera, and I'm taking a picture of a friend of mine. And then we go on to this photo here, and you can see the colors just look so good. I was using Kodak Ektar 100, and it's just so sharp. The lens is so sharp. The colors are so bright. Just love it. It's probably good to point out a couple things very important about this camera is that it is not a fully automatic camera. It's an aperture priority camera, so you don't set the shutter speed. You set the aperture, the ISO, and your focus, but you don't set the shutter speed. That the camera does. Now that can be good in many situations, and maybe not great in other situations. For example, it's great if you just want a camera that you're just going to take out and you just want to take pictures without thinking too much. You just want to set an aperture and shoot away, right? Now the next couple of examples, it's some shots in the snow. And that's an interesting way to test the camera and the meter in the camera to see how well it does. And you'll see that in these three shots it did pretty good. There's an indicator on the camera on the top that tells you if the photo is over or under, if it's metering over or under, and you could adjust the aperture up and down based on that. But you know, sometimes with a lot of white in the photo, like with snow, it could fool the meter, but this camera handled it really well, as you can see in these photos of my dogs. Now it's really cool to find an old camera and try it out, but I really enjoy it when the camera is really sharp. If you look at this owl, you can see his eyes really good. It's just such a sharp camera if you get the focus right. Here's another photo of my dog, and just so sharp. You know, some old cameras that you find, you put a roll of film in it and you take pictures, and when you get it back, it's kind of like disappointing because it's like the images are soft and it's just not. And then when you get something like this, it's just great. And speaking of focusing, to focus this camera, it's a manual camera, obviously. You have to look through the viewfinder, and there's a little yellow triangular, diamond-shaped image, and also the ghost image of that, and you have to bring them together to get things in focus. It's easy enough, but I prefer the zone focus method. Like right there on the lens, you see there's a range. You set the camera at say f4, like it is right there, and anything between 4 feet and 10 feet is going to be in focus, and you do that just by zone focusing. I absolutely love zone focusing, especially because in many cases you don't have time to focus. If the subject is moving or you only have a split second to get the shot, So you zone focus and you don't have to worry about it. You know that as long as the subject is within that range, you just take the picture, it's going to be in focus. Probably should note also that the camera takes a mercury battery, which they don't make anymore. So, but you can get an alkaline battery that with an adapter goes right into the slot, the battery slot. You just need to get the adapter like on eBay or something. It's really inexpensive and works perfectly. So batteries will exist for this camera. And the camera also has the ability to take flash on the top there. It has a lock switch. You see the L right there on top. That's to lock the camera, and you won't be able to take a picture, and the battery also will not be discharged. So overall, I think you probably can tell that I really like this camera. If you could find one for a good price, and especially in working order, why not grab it, play with it, take pictures, have fun. I think it's a great camera. It's not something I'm going to be getting rid of anytime soon, that's for sure. I have lots of other old film cameras, and I'm always picking one up here and there, and I'll be doing more of these videos, so please subscribe so that you don't miss them when I do release them. I should probably also mention that this particular Yashica camera that I own was probably made somewhere around 1973, 1974. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll leave you folks with some more photos to check out. Thanks a lot.